In a world driven by data, algorithms, and relentless scientific progress, you'd think we'd have all the answers by now. But every so often, the universe throws us a curveball. Something so bizarre, so unexplainable, that even the brightest minds in science are left confused. From spontaneous human combustion and the reason cows always face a certain way when they eat, to the inexplicable goop on the new island near Tonga, I'm Mike with List 25, and here are 25 incredible discoveries that science can't explain. 25. Where did the ancient Egyptians get their cocaine? In 1992, German toxicologist Svetlana Balabanova made a discovery that left historians and scientists scratching their heads. While examining the mummy of Hennetawi, she found traces of cocaine, hashish, and nicotine, substances that shouldn't have been there. Why? Well, because cocaine and nicotine come from plants native to the Americas, and as far as we know, those plants didn't make it to Africa until after Columbus sailed the ocean blue. So, how on earth did an ancient Egyptian mummy end up with a stash of New World substances? Was there some kind of ancient trade route we've never discovered? Or is there another explanation entirely? The mystery has sparked all kinds of theories, but so far it's just one puzzle science can't explain. 24. We keep finding weird, alien-like ancient creatures. The origins of life on Earth have always been one of those big, mind-bending questions. Philosophers like to brood over the deep, existential riddle, while scientists dig in, literally, to uncover the answers. We've made some pretty incredible strides, especially with all the new tools and techniques at our disposal. But every now and then, just when we think we're getting close to figuring it all out, something totally unexpected shows up. Take the Canadian Rockies, for instance. They're full of strange alien-like creatures from the Cambrian period that just don't fit into our neat evolutionary models. While scientists are still looking for the answers, these discoveries are making us rethink everything. 23. The rate of expansion of the universe just doesn't make sense. The moment we figured out that the universe is expanding, the discovery opened up a whole new set of questions, like how fast is it expanding, whether it'll keep going forever, and what it all means for us. And recent research has only added to the confusion. Not only are we no closer to solid answers, but we're also finding things that completely mess with our understanding. For instance, depending on how we measure it, the rate of the universe's expansion keeps giving us different results. If we calculate it based on the afterglow of the Big Bang, we get one value. If we measure it from the cosmic microwave background, we get another. And that shouldn't happen. In math, and in science for that matter, the correct answer should always be the same no matter what. Some experts even suggest we might need an entirely new branch of science to explain these discrepancies. Because according to our current understanding, there can only be one true rate of expansion, and we haven't found it yet. 22. Spontaneous human combustion. People have been both fascinated and horrified by spontaneous human combustion for centuries. I mean, what can be stranger than a person who bursts into flames with another source of ignition while their surroundings remain untouched? Modern forensic science has come up with one possible explanation known as the wick effect. It basically states that clothing can absorb melted body fat, acting as a candle wick. This slow-burning combustion can reduce a body to ashes while leaving nearby objects unharmed. But is the wick effect really enough to explain SHC? And the short answer is, not quite. We still don't know what actually triggers it. Over the years, various theories have been floated around, from bacteria and static electricity to obesity, stress, and the most popular one, excessive alcohol consumption. But none of these explanations have been backed up by solid science so far. 21. The mystery of humpback whales supergroups. Humpback whales are usually very solitary creatures, but a 2017 study from the University of Pretoria has uncovered a surprising shift. Lately, the majestic animals have been forming massive feeding groups of 20 to 200 off the coast of South Africa, and marine scientists are stumped. While an increase in the humpback populations might be a factor, it doesn't completely explain why these giants are suddenly congregating in such large numbers. 20. Why do cats purr? For the longest time, our favorite feline's purr was a bit of a mystery. According to new research, we now think that cats purr because muscles around their larynx contract, creating vibrations that produce that distinctive purring sound. But why exactly do they purr? That's still up for debate. According to one theory, purring might actually help with bone growth. The vibrations from purring occur at a frequency that can make bones harden and strengthen in response to the pressure. Oh, what do you think? 19. The 500-million-year-old mystery of nature's tapestry. From the sandstone cliffs of Europe to the depths of the Atlantic Ocean, a mysterious geometric pattern has been leaving its mark for 500 million years. The oldest examples date back to the Cambrian period, about 500 million years ago, and scientists are still puzzled. Are these shapes burrows from some ancient sea creature, or are they the imprints of the organism itself? To add to the mystery, researchers in the 70s found similar hexagonal patterns on the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. By 2003, they uncovered subsurface tunnels matching those of Paleodictyon. However, when they retrieved samples from 3,500 meters, or 11,500 feet deep, the burrows were empty and DNA-free, leaving scientists even more confused. Whether they're burrows or remnants of some ancient sponge-like creature remains an open question. Theories range from glass sponges and giant single-cell organisms to abandoned nests and worm farms cultivating bacteria. 18. Why do cows always face north or south while eating? I know most of us don't give much thought to grazing cows, but a team of scientists who scoured thousands of Google Earth images made a curious discovery. Cows always face north or south while eating or resting. I kid you not, no matter the wind or other factors, this magnetic alignment holds true. This is the first time we've seen a large mammal with an apparent internal compass, and we have no idea why. Interestingly, cows closer to the poles seem to struggle with this orientation, making their alignment less precise. 17. How did Argentine ants sustain a colony across continents? At first glance, Argentine ants might just look like your average ants, but these tiny insects have achieved something extraordinary. They've colonized 3 continents. And the best part? The super colonies of Argentine ants in Europe, South America, and Asia are all part of the exact same massive ant population with identical genetic traits. The immense geographical spread raises some fascinating questions. I mean, how? Despite their vast range, these ants recognize their colony mates instantly, but are hostile towards ants from other colonies. And what's even more remarkable is that their genetic code has remained more or less the same for thousands of years. 16. The secret of the Betz sphere. In the spring of 1974, the Betz family found a strange silver orb on their Florida property after a fire. In a matter of weeks, the orb, which was about the size of a bowling ball, turned into the center of bizarre occurrences. It vibrated in response to music, rolled around on its own, and even seemed to change direction, fascinating everyone who saw it. The sphere quickly became a national obsession and attracted the attention of both the Navy and independent scientists. People held their breath in wait for some answers, and yet, even after extensive testing, including by Dr. J. Allen Hynek, scientists were unable to pinpoint its origin. While most agreed that it was probably man-made, its exact purpose and nature remain a mystery. 15. Who did the Denisovans breed with? The Denisovans, one of our ancient relatives, have already sparked a lot of questions in our quest to understand human evolution, but the plot has thickened. Recent DNA analysis has revealed that they mated with an unidentified species approximately 30,000 years ago. The exact identity of this mystery partner hasn't been discovered yet. All we know is that this species contributed to the Denisovans' distinctive set of teeth, which doesn't match anything found in the living world today. 14. The Folkton drums' mysterious link to Stonehenge. The Folkton drums are a fascinating archaeological find. Discovered in 1889 near Folkton in North Yorkshire, England, these 3 intricately carved chalk cylinders date back to the Neolithic period, around 2600 to 2100 BCE. And yet, despite their name, they're believed to be ceremonial or ritual objects rather than, actual drums. What's really fascinating is their possible link to ancient structures like Stonehenge. One recent study found that the cylinder measurements might have been used to lay out the incredible stone circles and other Neolithic monuments found across Britain. While the consensus is still out there on that one, it would be incredible if proven true. 13. How do some animals live without oxygen? You'd think all living things need oxygen, right? Well, scientists just found some tiny animals living deep in the Mediterranean Sea that don't need it. The creatures are Loricifera phylum, miniature animals that evolved to survive in oxygen-free environments after the ocean's oxygen levels dropped and salts took over. Until this discovery, we didn't know any complex animals could thrive without oxygen. For now, scientists can't explain how the animals adapted, and it's triggered an avalanche of new research into what marine life might have been like around 600 million years ago. 12. What is making the Arctic craters? Every year, NASA's Operation Icebridge flies over the polar regions to keep tabs on any ice changes. In 2018, something extraordinary caught their eyes over the eastern Beaufort Sea. Massive craters in the sea ice. At first, scientists thought seals might be behind the holes, breaking through to breathe or haul themselves into the ice. But these craters were way too big for seals. The idea of a meteor strike didn't fit either. If it were a meteor, we'd see more scattered impacts. The theory of hot upwelling from warmer Arctic waters was also ruled out, as the craters were too small for that. The most intriguing theory, for now, is that whales could be punching breathing holes, but the verdict is still out. 11. What happened to Venus? Venus is often called a hellscape, and for good reason. It's the hottest planet in our solar system, with temperatures soaring to 900 degrees Fahrenheit. Its atmosphere is a thick, carbon dioxide-rich blanket, with clouds of sulfuric acid swirling above a landscape of sharp volcanic lava flows. Add in surface pressure that's 92 times greater than what we experience here on Earth, and it's clear why Venus is so inhospitable. But here's the twist. Some scientists think Venus might have once been a lot like Earth, possibly even with liquid water oceans. And that raises big questions about our own planet. And more importantly, why did Venus become this fiery wasteland while Earth remained a paradise? There are currently two main theories on the table. One suggests that the sun might have scorched Venus into oblivion, while the other points to volcanic activity as the culprit. For now, however, it remains a mystery. 10. Have we finally unraveled the mystery behind earthquake lights? For centuries, people have reported seeing strange glowing lights before or during earthquakes, but the cause of these earthquake lights has remained a mystery. Today, some of our latest research might finally be shedding light on the mystery, no pun intended. Scientists have dug into historical reports of earthquake lights from around the world, and their findings suggest that the stress on rocks during an earthquake generates an electric field, which could explain the mysterious glow. While it hasn't been proven yet, the theory offers a promising lead and might bring us closer to understanding the incredible phenomenon. 9. The inexplicable goop on the new island near Tonga. In 2015, a submarine volcano erupted near Tonga, creating a brand new island. By 2018, NASA scientists arrive, only to discover that they weren't the first visitors. Plants, a barn owl, and sooty terns had already made the new island their home. However, the island had quite a few additional, unexpected surprises. Researchers discovered a mysterious clay-like mud that covered the island. This sticky substance, visible in satellite photos, had no clear origin. To add to the oddities, what appeared to be dark sandy beaches in the satellite images actually turned out to be beaches full of pea-sized rocks. The island's peculiar features currently defy explanation. 8. Why did the Earth go silent? Our planet is usually a very noisy place. But during the Paleoproterozoic era, roughly 2.2 to 2.3 billion years ago, the Earth went through a weird period of silence. During a 2018 study, researchers analyzed rocks from China, northern Canada, Western Australia, and southern Africa, and the results were consistent. The data confirmed that the Earth's rock-forming processes went on vacation for about 100 million years. During this time, volcanic activity dwindled, tectonic plates barely moved, and sedimentation slowed dramatically. When things finally heated up again, volcanoes erupted anew, and the continental crust began to change and fracture, shifting tectonic behavior to what we see today. The reasons for this ancient geological silence, and its sudden end, remain a mystery. 7. The Mayotte Mystery. In 2018, the Earth seemed to ring like a bell, with strange waves, starting near the island of Mayotte by Madagascar, traveling across the planet for over 20 minutes. The weirdest part in all of this was that scientists didn't notice until a civilian checking a live seismograph feed flagged it. Seismologists were floored. These waves looked like the aftereffects of a powerful undersea eruption, but no eruption happened that day. Even stranger, the waves had a single repeating signal every 17 seconds, something you usually don't find with earthquakes. While there are theories about quiet earthquakes or collapsing magma chambers, the true cause of these mysterious waves remains unexplained. 6. How did an ancient bronze artifact end up in Alaska? A surprising discovery in Alaska has researchers scratching their heads. A team from the University of Colorado Boulder found a prehistoric bronze artifact, a small buckle-like object buried in an ancient Inuit dwelling. The artifact, which yielded a radiocarbon date of roughly 600 CE, is about 2 inches by 1 inch and was possibly used as a belt buckle or part of a harness. With no known bronze production in Alaska at the time, the artifact in all likelihood came from East Asia, perhaps Korea, China, Manchuria, or southern Siberia. It could even have been traded from the steppe region, where bronze casting began thousands of years ago. Alternatively, it might have traveled with early Inuit who migrated from Siberia into Alaska about 1500 years ago, but nobody knows for sure. 5. The flashing light in deep space. In 2018, astronomers stumbled upon something totally unexpected. Mika Persiainen and his team at the Cerro Tololo International Observatory in Chile witnessed 72 bursts of light from deep space. And the bursts were massive. Ranging from 300 million to 15 billion kilometers across, they shone just as brightly as a supernova, but didn't last nearly long enough. The best and brightest minds came together to figure it out, and theorized that these bursts could be linked to a Type II supernova, which happens when a star sheds its outer layers after its core collapses. Others feel it might have been a fast-evolving luminous transient. Their theory proposes that during the early stages of a star's collapse, gas bubbles might form inside the star. When the star eventually goes supernova, these gas bubbles could explode, creating the intense bursts of light observed. For now, both theories are still being investigated. 4. Why are tomatoes more complex than humans? Tomatoes might seem more simple compared to humans, but they actually have a surprising genetic edge. A tomato has about 32,000 genes, which is roughly 7,000 more than the number found in humans. This genetic idiosyncrasy dates back 70 million years, when the tomato plant family tripled its gene count, in the process giving each gene 3 copies. Over time, unnecessary genes were lost, but the useful ones stuck around. Now, when we compare our genes, we humans rely on a technique called alternative splicing, which allows one gene to be rearranged in various ways to perform different functions. How tomatoes managed to pack in so many genes is still unclear, but it might have helped them to survive the cataclysmic time on Earth when the dinosaurs were going extinct. In case you're wondering why it has my name on it, this is actually from my cousin's wedding. This is how they did their place cards for what table you were sitting at. 3. The particles that are shattering physics. Something mysterious is erupting from the frozen ground in Antarctica, and it could shatter the world of physics as we know it. The phenomenon involves high-energy cosmic rays blasting through space, entering Earth, and evaporating back into space. According to the standard model of particle physics, this shouldn't be possible at all. While low-energy particles can pass through miles of rock without being affected, high-energy particles typically collide with something soon after entering the Earth and never make it out. Scientists believe it might be a new kind of particle altogether, like a rare type of neutrino or something unusual with dark matter. Research combining data from ANITA and another Antarctic observatory, IceCube, shows that these particles actually have less than a 1 in 3.5 million chance of fitting into our current understanding of physics. 2. Why are giraffes getting skin disease? Since the early 90s, giraffes have been plagued by a puzzling skin disease affecting both wild and captive populations, especially in sub-Saharan Africa. Experts are still investigating whether this condition is a result of multiple diseases or if environmental factors are to blame. The cause, how it spreads, its potential impact on other species, and even the possible treatments remain unknown. Fortunately, Fred Burkovich, director of Save the Giraffes, believes that this issue shouldn't be the main focus of conservation efforts just yet. For now, scientists are still trying to determine how the disease impacts the giraffes' reproduction and mobility, which will help guide future conservation strategies. 1. The blobs deep inside the Earth. Deep within the Earth, buried miles below the surface, lie 2 enormous mysteries known as the blobs. Okay, scientists call them large, low shear velocity provinces, but the blobs sounds way more fun, right? These giant structures, one under Africa and the other beneath the Pacific, have been puzzling scientists since they were first discovered in the 70s. And here's the thing. We still don't know much about them. We don't know how old they are, how they formed, or what they're even doing down there. Their density and impact on Earth's geology? Still up for debate. But what we do know is that these blobs are massive and incredibly hot. Way hotter than Mount Everest. To give you an example of just how big they are, If they were on Earth's surface, the International Space Station would have to change its course to not hit them. Incredible, right? And that's a wrap. If you found these unexplained discoveries fascinating, then you'll definitely want to check out our video on 25 shocking scientific predictions that are coming true. From flying cars and plant-based diets to machines outsmarting humans, these predictions might have seemed far-fetched a few years ago, but they're slowly becoming our new reality. Curious to see how the future we once imagined has come to life? Well, just click on this link right here, and I will catch you next time. Also, what's the coolest thing you've ever discovered? Let me know in the comments below.